What's up, everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and we've been doing a bunch of the Chaos Trials, and we will continue to do more of them here. It looks like the bonus weapon is the Black Coat.
Visions of darkness.
And if we are trying to use that as our indicator for which trial to do, it would be the Trial of Glory. Use the underworld's secret strength to dispose of the rabble that dares stand against the Mountain of the Gods. So it's Mount Olympus, which is, of course, one of the latter floors, and potentially fairly difficult for that reason. There are some powerful enemies there, even of just the normal variety, and then obviously the boss is fairly tough as well. Aspect of Malinois, we have upgraded that a lot, I think, so that does help. And then the iridescent fan, I believe, is from Hera, so that's probably going to be one of the gods / goddesses that we're going to see most. Potentially even exclusively here, although usually it's two. Okay. So I think we're ready to go. This is relatively familiar territory, at least from a weapon standpoint.
Into Erebus.
Wait, what? That wasn't Erebus, though.
Skipped me ahead.
Yeah, excuse me.
Something's happened.
The Queen of Olympus understands the bonds we share.
Okay, let's see. What are we starting off with here? Lots of magic, lots of health. I do like that. 3 death defiances, also liking that. Aspect of Malinois. Attacks. Is that... Oh, that's just a normal rarity attack. Oftentimes we see very high rarity stuff here, which would be helpful, but just normal Hera attack. Then cast, cause lightning bolts. Oh, it's Zeus. To repeatedly strike one foe at a time at the binding circle. This is Hera Dash. Whenever you run out of magic, prime 20 until the next location and then restore all. So it gives us an inefficient way to recycle magic, although it does help us sustain magic at least a little bit. Charge moves create a fissure that deals damage in a long line but uses more magic. I don't remember ever having seen that. Your hitch effects deal more damage and last longer. Ooh, this is big, okay, at least rarity-wise. While none of your other boons are common... Wait, what? While none of your other boons are common, deal more damage, every other boon is common. Surely, since this is a setup that is pre-made for this challenge, there will be some way to improve the rarity of these boons to activate Uncommon Grace. Then, is this 3 hammer upgrades? Your fully charged attack is way more powerful. Your attack destroys 20% of armor. Whenever your attack strike foes, your special has a 25% chance of firing automatically. So, seems very attack-oriented. And then what's this? Well, you have at least 2 of everything, which means we need a little more air. All of your common boons gain rarity. Okay, so that's the key. We need an air boon. I'm glad we checked this. We need an air boon, and then suddenly we become much more powerful. And so we could go either Zeus or Hera. We have more Hera stuff going on. Zeus, I think, is probably more likely to give us an air boon, since he almost exclusively does that. Just double checking. Hera, we don't have any air boons from her right now. So in the interest of activating that other powerful boon as quickly as possible, let's do this. Oh, I thought that was going to kill you all. Oh yeah, no, our damage is pretty bad, to be honest with you. At least initially here. Now, of course... Oh, that was silly damage to take. I also didn't check. Our Arcana can vary from one Chaos Trial to the next. Wait, what? I was about to say that probably wasn't necessary against what was a fairly basic enemy, and then it still didn't kill him, which surprises me a lot. So we took a lot more damage than I would have liked to have taken there. Oh no. What? Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, we can't fight the eagle. We're waiting for other enemies to spawn. These guys deal ginormous damage, and there are a few floors that I think are kind of just overtuned and not particularly fun because they feel unbalanced. This is one of them with these particularly those satyr enemies. And some of the other automaton ones.
He is.
With crazy range and damage and repeated hits that add up extremely quickly. That just feels way too punishing. And then the Rift of Thessaly has some somewhat similar things with enemies that can hit you from off-screen that you don't even know are there in the first place. And then obviously, we've had some trouble in the past with Eris as well. But okay, for this...
You underworld goddesses and gods all know each other, do you not? If you could please notify Nyx's pest of a daughter, Eris, that she has no permission to fly within our borders, we would be mightily obliged.
Yeah, I do hate Eris with a burning passion, so I'm with you there, Zeus. We are looking for an air boon. We are certainly getting an air boon. That is the reason why we prioritize getting to Zeus here, and that does mean that all of our common rarity boons will go up. Yeah, okay. And that will be indefinitely, I guess. Every common boon will get upgraded to a rare boon. So then we don't have to worry about that being an issue going forward and stopping us from getting this active. So we can have special upgrade. Lightning bolts can strike more times. We don't have a lot of other Zeus stuff happening yet. Whenever you use magic, random surrounding foe is struck by lightning. Kind of like that. The damage is low, sure. But if we're kind of supposed to be doing the charged attack, then... that could work well with this, although it's sort of slow. We'll do it.
I felt something.
Okay, now that activates a bunch of other things. Everything gets rarefied. So we have more damage now from all those boons. You are active, and now you are active. So hopefully will be a somewhat dramatic difference. And now we also wonder if Hera was the last god or goddess that we, or one of the last gods or goddesses that we had yet to get the keepsake. No, we must have her keepsake, because otherwise we would not be able to do this trial. Okay, so I was going to say maybe we had reason to gift it to her. These are, if not these ones, the other ones that look slightly different are the really annoying enemies on among the other really annoying enemies on this floor. Although the individual hit might not be that high, it hits so many times in such quick succession that it becomes extremely punishing. Can we invoke you? We can. There's nothing on that. Didn't really have any reason to do it. I also don't... we've only invoked the statues once or twice, and I'm pretty sure it was more or less after the room was empty. So I don't remember exactly how effective it is or how large the area of effect is. Do we need to have the enemies right on top of the statue? Okay, so I don't think we'll gift. We'll just take this boon. We don't need to worry about it being common rarity.
I don't know that you've got what it takes to thwart the Titan, but what choice do we have at this point? I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, we have defeated him many times before, assuming you're referring to Prometheus, not to Kronos. We've beaten both of them many times before. Specials deal more damage and inflict hitch. Whenever hitch-afflicted foes are slain, damage all other hitch-afflicted foes. I do like that, especially if we have a lot of hitch stuff going on. What is our primary source? It's our attack. If we could get this and then also get it on the special, that would be nice. The sprint does it too. Okay, so that's another way to afflict hitch without having to worry too much about going out of our way to set it up. Damage goes up based on the number of boon-giving gods or goddesses we have received boons from. Well, it's only 2, I think. Zeus and Hera. So I don't think that adds up to that much for us. I think we want this.
Vested in me.
It's just a bunch of boons from those 2. Okay, and I imagine that's going to remain the case here. Which means probably these are the ones that I absolutely despise. And so are you. All the worst enemies in one room. Imagine that. But all the more reason to go all in on boosting hitch, since we're probably going to get a crazy amount of it. And so if we can do this, and inflict hitch on a whole bunch of enemies, and then kill some of those enemies that have hitch, then we might be able to kill them all. in very quick succession. Alright, get pitch on you as well. Oh, I did not realize I was in that AoE. We don't have any... that's the other thing that is so easy to forget about in these Chaos Trials, is that oftentimes there are... well, there may be some Arcana cards, but they're probably not the ones that you're used to seeing. So things like healing in between rooms, or in some cases having Death Defiances, you just take those for granted. And those are not a given, so we probably should have taken a look at these right from the onset. Charge moves are faster, deal more damage to foes in our casts, okay. Sprint is 10% faster, lets us pass through most dangers. +3 Death Defiances, we did see that, of course. Damage to foes that have at least 2 curses from different Olympians. Okay, well, we know at most we're getting 2 from Hera and Zeus.
In the name of Hades.
Here's the duo that we probably expected to be well, we knew it was going to be possible with how many we have from Zeus and Hera. Give up all boons of Zeus for each raise 1 level of all boons of Hera. How many Zeus boons do we have? I think it's 2. And what are we dumping? We're dumping Zeus cast, and we're dumping whenever we use magic. Surrounding foes struck by stuff. We lose the air boon. And that's the 2 air boons, and that's actually a big deal. Oh, so we lose all the other bonuses we got that are giving it this, and then we lose the rarity and all the other ones as well. So that's not as good as it might seem. Well, it does raise... wait. It raises the rarity of all of them by 2. Wait. Bonus level per... oh, not rarity. Level. Okay. And it's +4. Oh, okay. No, it's worth it. It's worth it still.
Perfect.
We deactivate a bunch of things, but get +8 levels on our other stuff. Okay, so we really want to get 1 more air boon again, which means, yeah, Zeus is the go-to, and now is probably not the time to go for a mini-boss, because although we did get stronger in some aspects, 1 more air boon is a very critical breaking point. Okay. I guess that works. Stop that. Please stop that. Nope. Don't do that. Please don't do that either. Okay. Presumably, we will be able to get an air boon here. We'd probably take just about anything of the air variety.
This message.
Okay, and we can get epic rarity on the special. So that is pretty nice, and it is air. I mean, all this stuff is air. Strikes emit chain lightning that bounce up to 4 times prime magic. Did we have that before? I don't think we did. After we take damage, foe is struck by lightning and 50% chance to strike them again, up to 3 times. I mean, this is the most passive, of course, but this... probably what we're looking for. Actually, does it... oh, it has Blitz. Okay, yeah. So that gives us the chance to hit enemies with 2 curses, which would activate this. I mean, don't want to make that much of a point of doing that. At the end of the day, it's still only a 25% damage boost, but... okay, so we have just over 150 gold. Good thing we did just break that urn. So that means we could potentially get some value out of this. Honestly, I am concerned about our lack of healing. I know we have 3 Death Defiances, which does help a lot, but it makes me wary of going into mini-boss fights, especially because we've only done 1 or 2. No, we've done 2. We've seen 2 different mini-bosses on this floor. So I know this will probably mess with our penultimate room shop, but it's the safe approach. Maybe we'll just go for healing here and save... well, that is assuming that there is healing. There isn't. There's a little more money. This is interesting. We don't have anything happening with Apollo yet. I'm surprised that he has any chance of appearing at all here. I'm not really sure what we would be looking for. We could obviously get more health instead. This is the most valuable. It's The most useful, but it's obviously the most expensive as well. We'll try it.
I accept this message.
We'll try it. Cast, inflict daze. Cast, expand in size. We don't have anything on our cast right now? Yeah. Deal more damage until you take damage. We go damage list for 15 seconds, we get the boost back. It's 15%. I mean, if the number were higher, it would feel more worthwhile to build around that, but I think we go for this, and I mean, that just makes it easier for us to get a different damage boost of this variety. Does mean we are now pretty poor, so in the penultimate room, we're going to be struggling a bit to purchase anything of note. Oh, it's just you? Yeah, maybe we can get a little bit more from this. I do hate these guys with Burning Passion. Excuse me, why did you guys spawn in at that moment when we had not... Oh my god, there's so many of them. They spawned in at a strange time. That was bad. Usually, enemies spawn in right after you kill the last enemy, whereas those guys very much did not do that.
Hear me on my authority.
So every bit of damage is basically permanent, which is kind of scary. Gain +1 element and 1 infusion boon for each? Wait, what? This is Hera's legendary, which we've never seen before. Gain 1 of each type. 1 infusion boon. Okay, I mean... Oh. So now it's just a question of, do we have enough of the various types to benefit from those various infusion boons? So we already had that one. That's not new. But this, from Ares, I assume is what this is. Well, you have at least 8 Earth ones, which we definitely do not have and will not ever have at this rate. Any of your damaging effects from Olympians are 50% stronger. Yeah, no, that's not happening, although I wish it could. Might be able to get this happening, although it's not active yet. While you have at least 5 air, you can never deal less than 30 damage. Then this one, while we have 6 water, not going to happen, in all likelihood. Yeah, I mean, it would be very difficult. You cannot take more than 20 damage. I mean, that is really nice. Your attacks and specials gain power the more fire we have, and that's the one we have the most of, oddly enough. And fortunately, this one is active no matter how many we have of that type. Whereas we have all these other ones that are just a binary active or inactive. Which is kind of bad, because in most cases, they are inactive. Okay, so here it gets a little tricky, because these are not the gods we expected to see, given our lack of gold, just trying to poke around for a little more monies. Do Hermes boons still have an element to them, right? And Ares, I mean, we've seen so little of him that I don't really know what element to expect from him. I would guess, based on this, that it's probably Earth, but that is the one that we have absolutely no chance of reaching. So if we're trying to hit one of these, then I feel like Hermes is probably the way to go. And at this point, we have such high rarity, well, high level, and some rarity on these that I think speed from Hermes would be a very nice way to kind of multiply our damage there. Can you stop that? Try this a little bit more. I've been doing that all that often. It is safe, and it is still high damage. Like, this one is not leveled up to the extent that our attack is. One would think that would lead to our attack being stronger. I do see that that guy is doing that, and I pressed the dodge button, but it did not activate quickly enough, which is frustrating. Okay. We have the keepsake from you, so I think we're still holding on to our one, I think it's just one, nectar.
This reminds me of the time I met your brother when he was searching for your mum. I had a vested interest in the outcome, sure. But before I knew it, I really started to care. We'll find a way to help them, won't we, Em?
A reference to Hades 1. Okay, let's see. First purchase in each location costs less, and another item appears afterward. I mean, we're pretty broke, so it would help us afford stuff, but you can make the most out of this when you have money to spend. Sprint is faster, gives you a barrier that ignores 2 instances of damage. That is nice, especially in the upcoming boss fight. Those range shots are slower. That does also help. I think this is more well-rounded, and it's fire, which definitely helps us. We know we're getting 8 base damage from that. This one, we would need to get 1 more air boon for that to work, and this is location 8. I think the next room is going to be the penultimate room, and we aren't going to be able to afford a boon, so I think we just take this.
Here we go.
Wait, slow cooker upgraded, and that's this one. Yeah, okay. Oh. Oh. No, it only goes up 2 every time we get a fire boon. Okay, it's not as good as I thought it was. We're definitely not getting a fire boon from you. We might be able to get one from you. I think you're what? Earth, wind, and fire? No, earth and fire. We haven't seen Hephaestus at all yet. But we have, at this point, pretty much abandoned any hope of activating the other infusions. So I think that means Tiebreaker goes to you. We haven't seen Poseidon yet either. I thought we were spawning in, dropping in from the top. And then we didn't. That did mess with me a bit. I've not been using any of these statues, which I really should be. It's one of those situations where I'm trying to save them for when we need them, and then that inevitably leads to me never using them. Which means they're giving us no value. But I'm definitely going to use it there. Okay, and it did give us a sense for how this works. That does not have enough range. Can you hit me over this? I don't know if I want to find out. That's not the last enemy!
Lady Demeter.
Okay, at least you're down. Oh!
Time for a
I think
tune.
Demeter. The Demeter statue helped us quite a bit in that situation.
Running to no-eyed polyphemus, I hear. Mean
While back, I
bastard.
suppose.
All meat and muscle. Could have used that one at the old forge. Oh well. Hope he doesn't try to chew you up or nothing.
Oh, he does. Every time. Okay, well, it's all Earth, which we won't have time to benefit from. So I think we're just looking at these in a vacuum. Impervious for 7 seconds. Okay, useful. Gain some armor, prevent foes from knocking us away. Whenever we enter a location, we gain some armor, but we prime health, and that one, it resets every location. So long term, that's better than this. Short term, this is better than that. But this is probably still what we're looking for. Any more gold to be had? Because we might be about to... Yeah, this is the penultimate room for sure. Oh,
More shaking.
wait. Receive your choice of hex out of 3 random choices from Selene. So we basically get... Oh, right. Do you think we can afford the second? I think we just go to the... Well, this is going to be a free boon here. This would be, at best, a boon that we purchase for 150. I think what we do is we buy this, and then we expedite the delivery to happen immediately.
Delivery coming soon.
We can't afford it! No! I deliberately didn't pick the most expensive things so that we would have a chance of expediting it. But it doesn't matter. Well, now, I mean, I was gonna do this anyway, but... Alright.
Clear landing spot.
And now you're gonna put golden urns here just to make it... Okay, it still wouldn't have been enough for us, but almost sufficient to have expedited. Oh, it is now enough to expedite. But, can't do it anymore.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Probably would have gone for Zeus anyway, should that have been the option at the shop. And King's Ransom, give up all your boons of Hera! Oh my god, wait, what? We've never seen this one before. It's the opposite of this. Queen's Ransom and King's Ransom? Oh my goodness, we've so many boons for Hera. No, all the ones that we leveled up. All the ones that we leveled up are from Hera. So we sacrifice those. We do get absolutely insane. We would have to be all special, basically, is the only way we could do this. However, we've so many Hera boons. 1, okay, that's not Hera, but 2, 3, 4, I think, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I believe, including some very obvious ones that would be bad, like this. So that's been our primary source of damage, but also some more passive ones that have been nice to have, like the like that and that. On the other hand, we would get what, plus 36 levels on our special, which would have crazy diminishing returns. But on the other hand, I think the extent to which the returns diminish, it stops at a certain point, and then it just gives you the same bonus every level after that. But I mean, I feel like we have to try. That's just too crazy to say no to, right? And we haven't used this yet. We have to try. It's such a bad idea, but it's so tempting that I can't turn it down. It's level 41. Okay. Oh my god. 1010 blitz damage. Okay, our specials, they also just wait. Afflicted foes are struck by lightning after they take 120 damage or after 3 seconds. So, does that mean we need to get enough damage to trigger the blitz? Otherwise, we're just hitting him once and then dodging around for 3 seconds, hitting him again with it. We'll, hopefully find a way to make use of that. The damage is high enough that I certainly hope that pays off. But if it doesn't, even if it doesn't, I mean, could you have said no? And now I'm wondering if there were any other Hera boons that we turned down. There probably were at the beginning, when we went with a Zeus boon or two. But that's probably the one that we just upgraded, so.
How quickly you arrived this night. Bending the very laws of nature to achieve your goal. Forging alliances with beings who care nothing for you.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
I did take a shortcut, but you're wrong about the rest. I know the being to whom you refer, and they're not what you presume them to be.
Mm-hmm. Chaos and I are real close.
No. But isn't it chaos that delivers you so close to your goal, it shall let you go no farther? Even if you should prevail here. I know where this all leads. Let's see it through.
I mean, he does have a point. Okay, so it's all about the special. Oh, and we have the immunity at the beginning, which I totally should have just used to spam that repeatedly. I completely forgot about that. That is a fairly big mistake. There's the 1,000 damage. Okay, is the 1,000 damage enough? That's a horrible place for you to set this. Is the 1,000 damage enough for that to pay off? That's the question. That is the question. That's also a bad place for that, but okay. See? I mean, this is very much now going to be a hit and run sort of playstyle. At least I'm supposed to be the one doing the hitting and running, not you. Oh, that was bad, but that still counted as us getting hit. Please, speaking of which, please do get hit by that. The thing is, if we just had a tiny bit more damage of some other variety, so we could proc the blitz more easily, it would make a huge difference. So I wish we had one more Zeus boon to work with. Oh, okay, hold on. Not middle. Go bottom, bottom, middle. Bottom, that was... Oh, I almost got hit by the first one. Because I did not get into position very quickly. Put that off to the side, sort of. Just frustrating how those don't seem to hit as consistently as I would like them to. I mean, we can, of course, attack with our other basic attack. Oh, wow, that was bad. To try to proc that a little more quickly. Okay, gonna do it again. Oh, no, that's... I thought you were doing the memory phase. You were not. You were not doing the memory phase. I would like for you to get hit by 1,000. You can survive 1,000 damage? Excuse me? That was also luck. That missed up. And I'm very surprised you haven't done the next round of the memory puzzle yet. There it is. Bottom. Not bottom. Top. Not top. Oh, gosh. I forgot the first one. This might be wrong, but it was. The next one might be wrong as well. Okay. Not quite is right. However, this trial, thankfully, we do have some death defiances to work with. Still several. It's just times like that where the special feels like it shouldn't be that difficult for it to land. Oh, I walked straight into that. Yeah, some bad damage there for sure. Stop running! That was also bad damage. I just want to hit you with the special. That's all I care about. Even if this is going to cause us to probably use another Death Defiance very quickly. Like, how does that miss? How does that... Okay, no, that did hit. That I get, because I aimed it in the wrong direction. There are times where I seemingly do aim it in the right direction, and yet it still somehow finds a way to miss nonetheless, which is annoying. So that's a very silly way to lose a Death Defiance, but he should be more or less one round of the special burst from dying. There we go. Okay. So execution a little lacking.
Be a struggle, but hold always to the chance I may be wrong.
But we did in fact manage to pull it off with what was ultimately pretty close to just a one skill build. But you know, it does help when that one skill is level 41.
Saw that coming.
Oh. Take that, dude who's supposed to predict everything. We predicted that. And we still had a Death Defiance left. So I know we got a little reckless there, but... Oh, man. Well, actually, hold on. Okay, I was gonna say, it says plus 41 there, which made me wonder if that was actually level 42 for a second, but no, it's definitely 41. We did have some... Oh, I guess our cast should have been our secondary skill. I forgot that we still had a cast boon. I thought we quite literally just sold everything for the sake of powering that up, and we nearly did, because most of the other stuff is our passive boons of some variety. But it worked! Ultimately, it did still work.
Return to Shadow now.
Alright.
This particular experiment was a success.
Indeed. Now I'm wondering how differently that would have played out
Another chaos trial.
had we opted not to take that last, what was it, King's Gambit at the very end? Because the Queen's Gambit, in and of itself, was already a pretty big deal, and we certainly were able to get that to pay off. Could have settled for that. Would have been more straightforward, probably, but as I said, just couldn't turn down the opportunity for a level 41 boon. So, I'm curious if you guys have done this Chaos Trial. Did you get both of those? And did you opt to take both of those boons? Because it's risk-reward for sure. But anyways, this is the right time for us to wrap things up. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.